Welcome, everybody. How you doing back there, Johnny?
Doing very well, thank you.
What about this crazy weather? I mean, I didn't even know how to dress today.
Just what you do is I start out wearing lots of layers. Then I get outside and I strip off or maybe add one, depending on how cold or hot it is. And then I go through the day and I usually reduce or add accordingly. That's what I do. Carry the stuff around with you.
John's a stripper.
Yeah.
He strip a piece off.
Yeah, but I don't carry the radio along anymore.
So anyway, today I want to welcome my guest, Ms. Tajanda. Did I say it wrong?
You just got the first two. Yeah.
Jatanda. Why did I write it wrong?
That's okay. Everybody get it wrong. I've been
everything. What? I wrote it right in my calendar, and I wrote it wrong on the book.
That's okay. I've been Chasana, Chadanda. I've been everything. Okay. All right.
I like saying it right because I don't like people messing up my name. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Jatanda Thompson.
That's me.
Jatanda. And what's the middle thing say? Tickle me pink?
Yep. Tickle pink. Tickle pink. Yes.
And I met Jatanda last year because she has this unique thing that she does with shoes. And she has a shoe business called Sugarface. Mm-hmm. Now, where'd you get Sugarface from?
Sugarface was actually, I was working with clients who were developmentally disabled, and they were big on me making them laugh. Mm-hmm. So I would tickle them by saying things like, well, how are you today, Sugarface? And they would laugh until at that point I'd gotten to be Sugarface. So they would respond to me that way and call me Sugarface.
Oh, that's special.
And it just stuck from there. And ever since then, it's been Sugarface.
Sugarface.
Yes.
So now you had her website, she has some really nice shoes, and it's not any shoes that I can wear, but other people can wear them and make them look really good. If I put them on, I'd be falling all over and they think I'm drunk or something. And so now, how did you get started with that? Because, when I'm checking website, I see other people doing different things like that, glitter on all the shoes and stuff. Now, how did you get started? Because you have some like Superman, Batman, Boys to Men. Yeah, Batgirl. I mean, Boys to Men, little faces. I mean, that's amazing. Tell us how you got started doing that.
Well, originally it was because, and it's a funny story, I couldn't find a pair of shoes for church. I was looking for something very specific. Exactly. I was looking for, because I was on my church's praise team at the time, and we had to wear very specific colors.
Right.
And I was looking for a pair of brown shoes with pink. And I could not find them anywhere.
That's
I couldn't
a combination,
find them.
Brown and pink.
You would think that, but it was beautiful. Right. When we had it on, I just could not find a pair of brown and pink shoes that made me happy. So I got upset. And
watch out, right?
Necessity is the mother of invention. And I was really upset. Like, I can't wear this outfit without these shoes. So I bought a pair of brown shoes and just started painting and realized, okay, this is something I can do whenever I'm looking for a pair of shoes. I started doing it for myself. It got to be that my church family just started walking up to me and handing me shoes. Here, do this pair.
Put these up for me.
Yeah, do this. And I was just like, okay, sure. And from there it started to balloon upwards, and I got to doing their kids' shoes, prom shoes, wedding shoes.
Wow.
Until I landed with a friend of mine who is a huge Boys to Men fan like I am. And she said, I need my boys on a shoe. And I started laughing. I said, I've never put a boy on a shoe. She was just like, I want Boys to Men on a shoe. I said, well, all right. Well, if I can put Batgirl on a shoe, I can put Boys to Men on a shoe.
Boys to Men on the shoe.
Yes. And Boys to Men ended up seeing the shoe. And I cannot tell you, Miss Lisa, how it feels to have Wanye scream all the way across the room. Is that my face on a show?
Get out.
Yes, baby, that's your face on a shoe. Oh my God, it's fly! And it took, we had to be put out of the auditorium because they took so many pictures of the shoes. They tweeted the shoes out. From there, it just grew. It got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where I'm making a pair of shoes for one of the boys in the group, Sean, his daughter.
Right.
Has a daughter named Juice. Well, he calls her Juice because her pudgy little cheeks.
Right,
yes.
right.
And I'm making a pair of shoes for her. I've got another member of the group, Wanye, his daughter wants shoes. And the other member of the group, Nate, who's the founding member of the group, his mom actually gave me a call just a few weeks ago to do a shoe for her granddaughter. So it's blowing up and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm loving it.
That's really great. I mean,
Yes.
like, you know, when you start talking about boys to men, I mean, just imagine all the connections they have.
Exactly.
Ooh, you
and
gonna
they
be
are
rich and famous.
amazing. From
be
your mouth to God's ears.
You're going to be rich and famous. I see it.
Yes.
You'll be moving out of here pretty soon. We see you out there on the red carpet with boys to men.
Oh, yeah,
and-
probably. Hopefully so. I'm claiming that.
That's right. Because I've seen some of the pictures.
Oh,
and it's like
yeah.
you're in heaven when you're standing there.
I love my boys. I can't even tell nobody those stories. I love my boys. I'm a stutterer though when I get near them. I'm
You want shoes, that's right.
yeah,
That's right.
and they just think it tickles them. They just look at me, hey, sugar. I'm like, hey.
Oh, that's cute.
I turn into a big kid. I do. I love my boys.
Now, does your son have some shoes that you made?
He does. He has a lot of things that I've made, and to the point where the kids at his school have been, can you have your mommy call me? I've making him, I've branched out a little bit as far as shoes. He has Captain America shoes, Spider-Man shoes, Iron Man shoes, but I started to put them on his jackets.
Yeah.
Just plain old sweat jackets, just to see if I could do it. And right now he has a jacket that's his Thor hammer jacket.
I saw that
big,
one.
yes. He absolutely loves that jacket. He will not let me wash it.
Now, is that painted on that you can wash
It's
it?
actually hand painted. I took pictures of, because Thor is one of my favorite movies. That little cute Chris Hemsworth in that movie. Oh, he's so cute. And I took that picture of the hammer in the movie and had tons of reference pictures.
Right.
Kept them going and just looking at it, playing with it until I just traced it out on the jacket and just started to paint. And my son tells me all the time, Mommy, I'm not an artist like you all. I can't paint like that. But his jacket turned out amazing. I was so shocked at how well it came out.
Yeah,
I just started making a whole bunch of them. And I put my logos on backs of jackets now because I'm not paying nobody to do nothing good.
Right. I might have to get me a T-shirt and have
Yes,
you do
you
one.
should.
You're going to have to do me a Flaminpit T-shirt with
Absolutely.
by Sugar Face.
There you go.
That-
Absolutely.
If I get enough of those, I'll just be a walking billboard for everybody. Be like,
There
look
you
on
go.
the back.
There you go. Makes sense.
It makes sense. You know, I'm everywhere anyways. You know,
Right.
you never know where you're going to see me at.
Exactly.
And so now how long have you been doing this? Because I know you have a day job.
Yes.
And so you have to like fit this in and with your travels to see boys.
Actually, that's it. Exactly. They're the only people I ever travel for. They are the only ones I ever travel
Get
for.
out of here.
Actually, I'm currently retired. I'm calling it retired. But so now I have a lot more time to actually pursue and market the business the way I want to.
Right.
But to find time to fit it in, it's tough. It was tough when I had the 40 hours a week.
Right.
It was extremely tough, especially since I'm a full-time student as well. So in the midst of all of that, it just was about time management.
Right.
Waking up in the morning, getting a kid together in the morning, which is tougher.
Yeah.
Ooh, especially when he don't want to get up.
I know the feeling.
Trying to get him to get moving and get up, and then to kind of motivate myself to go to a job that I did not actually want to be at. And it sounds terrible with so many people who are
Looking for
struggling and looking for jobs. I didn't want the job I had. But I knew what God purposed in my heart, and what it was this is what you need to do. And I got so frustrated. I was calling friends all the time. I hate it. I can't do everything at once. I'm only one mama.
Right.
And then it was a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine told me, he said, you're in the best possible position you could be in. this is the time when you make the changes in your life. Right before, when you get so frustrated that you just make a decision and you say it's done. One thing or the other is going to be done.
Right.
And I wasn't letting go of Sugarface.
Right.
Sugarface is my heart, my soul. Everything Sugarface is me, and every soundtrack is probably Boys to Men on every shoe.
That's what you hear in the background when you're working on the
shoes. Absolutely. There are quite a few underground artists that I really, really like, but every shoe has a touch of Boys to Men in it.
Right,
All of them.
Yeah, I definitely got to have me a T-shirt. So start thinking of what I can get.
I got you. Sit down and think about it for
a minute. Now, when you come up with the shoes, where do you get the shoes? Because you've shown pictures of like the one pair of shoes they were like old fashioned with the bow on them.
Yeah.
They were like a funny color, turquoise, and then you painted them out white or whatever. Was that just the base? Because I never saw them again to see what you did to them.
It's a base. 9 times out of 10, I'll find shoes that have very good bones to them, as I call them. Shoes that I can manipulate. I do a lot of thrifting and thrift shopping. I absolutely love the Goodwill. And please, Lord, please don't nobody judge me. I'm in that Goodwill and Salvation Army all the time. Refashioning something. I see something I like that don't fit, but the buttons are cute. I'll buy it for $1 and take all the buttons off and change it and mix and match it. I've grown to be, my mother is a very classy lady. And as my mother taught me, you have to be classy, but you can also be frugal. She is the frugal diva, as I call her. So you have to, I find them everywhere, to be honest with you. I find them in cheap stores. I find them in expensive stores. There are suppliers over in China who will actually send you just one pair of shoes. And usually I do that as a display shoe, and I get them in my size because I wear all my shoes.
That was going to be my next question. Like, are they all custom, or do you just have some that people come in and might be just happen to be a size 7 and be like, oh, I like those, I can buy those?
The majority of them right now are custom because I'm quite small, a small business. But the designs themselves are fairly uniform. If you see something you like, they all have names to them.
Right.
The Michelle, the Tonda, the Nene. If you see the style and you know what you like, you can just tell me, okay, I like that style. But the beauty of it being all custom is you can say, okay, well, I like it, but I want it in this color.
Right.
And perfectly fine with me, as long as you have the shoe. I generally tell women to try their shoes on first. Everybody has different feet.
Right.
Nobody likes it. Everybody doesn't like stilettos.
Exactly. You can't walk in drunk.
Right. Everybody doesn't like the stilettos, or everybody doesn't like flats. Some people just want them to be plain. Some people want them to be way far out there.
What about wedgies?
I do a lot of wedges.
Oh, okay.
I've got, actually, there are 4 pairs of wedges that are on my table right now. Because, once again, I went thrift shopping and found a bunch of them at the thrift store. And I was just like, ooh, different colors. So I get excited about thrift shopping.
I know. But now, so people can actually bring you a pair?
Yes.
And then say, I want you to do something with this?
As long as they're new. Or just nearly new. You can't bring me no old shoes that smell like Fritos and corn chips and all that. You can't bring me that because I can't handle that. Can't handle life like that. But as long as they're new or nearly new, I have no problem with that. I can come up with something if you just want to see what can be done with an older pair of shoes that you just have sitting in the closet that you don't like. You don't like the color, but the fit is wonderful.
Right.
You can absolutely bring them to me, and I can re-sugar them for you, as I say. Re-sugar them.
Sugar coat them.
A little sugar on them.
Wow. Well, I think that's, I was just amazed when I saw like the Boys to Men ones, and because like, where did you get the face and the stencil, or what does it take to put their face on there like that? Because that was like perfect Boys to Men logo.
A lot of cutting. I'll say it like that. It's kind of a form of decoupage. It's just finding the right picture, finding the right material to put the pictures on.
Right.
I can't give away all my trade secrets, then everybody be doing it.
Everybody be doing it.
It's basically a form of decoupage, and you just have to be very careful. At this point, those shoes are probably the easiest for me to do because it's real quick, fast, in a hurry because I've got the methods down now. I know exactly what kind of paper to use or what kind of fabric to use depending on what's happening with the shoe. And it's just get it. And it's a lot of cutting, though. I cannot tell you how many little boys to me and ears and fingers I have cut off trying to get around little old ears. It is too funny, especially Nate. He has these wonderful, luscious, huge lips. I've cut off a few of them trying to get around his cute little lips. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, that's why I print out. I do like at least 4 or 5 of them. So if I tear them up.
Right, you have another lip to go to.
There you go. There you go.
Now, what about walking? Like, like, can you wear them in certain weather, or are they all summer? Where the surface has to be dry, or
they wear fairly well as long as they're not in water because they are sealed. So I do seal them, but I wouldn't, just like you wouldn't wear suede in water or when it's too wet outside. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And I've gotten to the point now because it used to be the first time I did them, the pictures would crack and just because of the wear and tear of the shoe, but I've gotten to a point now where I know exactly where they need to go, exactly where they need to be, where the foot stress is, so I know where to put the pictures and where not to put the pictures. So it's a fairly a tough shoe, but it is a custom shoe, and because it's custom, it's not an everyday shoe.
Right. It's just you wear on occasion and put it back in the box.
I would say the Converse that I do are probably a little bit more resilient than the stilettos.
Right.
Most women don't wear their stilettos every day anyway, so those are okay. But a pair of tennis shoes you can probably wear every day, and those are my favorite pair because they have this on them or that on them.
Right.
I have to. Just be careful in inclement weather.
Right. Because we're in Michigan.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to put on today. Shoes, boots, what? I come outside, it's flurrying, snowing.
I just keep them all in the car.
I know, that's what I was ready to do. I was like, should I wear my shoes or take my boots? Wear my boots, take my shoes? What the hell?
Put them all in the bag. Take a purse big enough to carry all of them.
Put them all in there. I know. Because now the shoes that you had donated to my group, I mean, everybody loved them. The purple for domestic violence and ribbon. The ribbon, those were really nice. And the director kept those. They was like, well, we're going to use these as, our model every year. We're going to set them out and show people,
Awesome.
So I was like, well, you do what you want. So those are ours forever and a day.
Yes, they
We got a little piece of sugar face.
Absolutely.
So now, did you bring us some today that you've done?
I did. I brought my favorite pairs. They're a little worn because they're mine, but they're my favorites. These are my gold glitter heels.
Ooh.
These were a thrift store find as well.
I think I saw you in those with at Boys to Men. Did you have these on at Boys?
I sure did. Feet. Yes. I sure did wear these with my boys, and they told me my shoes were pretty. Nate told me, he was like, I like your shoes. And any man that appreciates your shoes, you have to appreciate them.
And this is all that you've done yourself. Oh, and the bag girl, I really like those.
These are my infamous back girls.
Wow. I like those. You even got the wham, slam.
Yes. Bam. I had to put all of that in there. I thought it was awesome.
That is so cool.
I was just, this is probably the first, this is, I guess you could say, my prototype pair. But these are awesome. They're still my favorites.
With this on the bottom, isn't this going to wear off?
Yes.
Do you wear these?
I do. I wear these every once in a while. And the glitter will wear off, at least as far as here, but it won't wear off on the sole of your shoe. But it will wear off eventually, but it's fun to have it anyway.
Right. I mean, you've gotten your money's worth because these are really nice.
Absolutely. And this is...
Oh, you did those too?
Yes. This is my January feature. And this was a thrift store find too. It was an all black shoe when I found it. So I just made some adjustments. I put the print on it. I painted it out, put the print on it, and just I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just started playing with it. Like I said, it's a little worn, but that's my favorite pair. I wear that all the time.
Oh, and it's two-tone. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So those are my cheetahs. I think I named her Sheba. Rawr. That's what I named her, Sheba. So these were a pair of my favorites.
I think these look alike. All the shoes pretty much look alike.
At least as far as the bones of the shoe.
Right, they're made alike, and then you just
a lot of them are made for my foot, because this rounded kind of toe looks really good on my foot. It's like, if you see these rounded toe.
Oh, those are cute. Now,
This was a thrift store find. I love these.
Did you do those too?
Nope. These were $3.
Snap.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh my gosh, it's wonderful.
And you wear them too, girl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
These are really cute. Now, how do you know the print of a cheetah? How you know that's a real cheetah?
I think I looked it up on the internet. Reference, girl. If I can't find nothing, if I'm not good at anything, I'm good at research.
The internet will tell you how to do it.
Exactly.
They'll tell you what to look for and everything.
And a website called Pinterest. I am addicted to Pinterest.
Somebody had mentioned that to me when I was trying to do a blog, and they was like, you should do it. I'm like, I don't even know how to work that. I wanted to do a blog. I was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not that high tech. I mean, I'm just learning how to do stuff, you know?
You will get addicted very, very quickly.
No, is it a reference?
It's what it is. It's an online pin board. So there are ideas like just little like the idea that I had for the glitter. I had to perfect the glitter. Right. But you can put pretty much glitter on anything if you know how to do it.
Because you think this gonna fall off and you're gonna have glitter everywhere.
You would think that, yeah. But see, if the texture of the shoe. Once you feel that, you realize it's not going nowhere.
Right.
You know? And it, like I said, it has to be perfected. A lot of it has to be taken care of. But the online pin board itself is ideas that you see around the internet for, you can do recipes, you can have shoe ideas, comic books, anything that you like that you need to remember where it was. What it is you pin it to your pin board. And when you pin it to your pin board, you can always go back and look at it and say, okay, I had this idea for this, like kitchens, weddings. Yeah. I did my whole house. I planned out my whole interior decorating with this website. So that when I go to my house, I can just go back to my board and say, okay, I like that idea. I like this idea, that idea, this idea. So it's addictive.
Oh, because
trust me, because you'll be pinning everything.
Right. I think I looked at it, but I wasn't sure what I was doing. So I was like, Right. I'm about to go try it again now that you brought it back up.
It is.
Because somebody else was like, oh, you should try it. Now, that's like them telling me to do Twitter, and I have an account, and it's like, I don't even know how to do this thing. I mean, it's not enough space. I talk a lot.
Right.
140 characters. That's just me saying good morning.
Exactly.
So I told my sister, I was like, she said, oh, you should do it because it'll be good for your show. And I said, girl, I can't even talk. I got to do like 4 or 5 of them. And then when I see some of the stars, they write all this stuff and they like this much. I'm like, now there is no way they got all that in one tweet. They had to do like 10 of them.
They do.
They do them all
back to back to back to back. And it's funny. You have to start at the beginning.
Yeah, and read up.
Exactly. Like, okay.
I can't do it. It's just, I talk. It's like texting. I just learned how to text last year. I'm like way behind on that. I'd rather pick up the phone and talk.
Right.
Forget about it.
Right.
But, my sister, they say, oh, my little tech head. I'm like, no, I ain't even that. My son is the tech head. He's a button pusher.
Is he?
He's a button pusher where I'd be like, no, don't push that button. He's like, oh, no, do this, do that.
It's fine, Mom.
All I got to do is tell him I need something done, and he'd come in there and look at it. And next thing you know, he got it hooked up.
That's how I am.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So my parents call me quite a bit. I don't know what's wrong with this computer. I need you to come and fix it. And my sister is the same way. My sister is like, I just bought a new computer. You got to go over there and set it up. Well, where is it? At Mama's house. Why is it at Mom's house? Because I don't know how to set it up.
It's over there. Go hook it up.
And then I'll bring it home.
I know. But it's like one of those things, eventually I get everything together, running, I'll be all right. But it's just, I think the novelty of it, just like learning how to use the flash drive and all that stuff.
Right.
It took me a minute because when I used to work, we didn't have laptops available to the people in the office. And then when they gave us our laptops along with our desktops, I'd be sitting in there like, oh, even I'm scared to touch. What I do?
Did I mess it up?
Right. But now I figure I got a laptop. My son has desktop, and I just figure we're gonna do this thing.
Right, absolutely.
But I'm gonna have to try to Pinterest. I know I went to that site before.
It's an awesome site. It really is an awesome site. You can pin anything that you think of. Like if you see a shirt and it's online, but you can't afford to get it right now, you can pin it to a pin board and then go back and get it later instead of trying to remember where the website is.
Well, that's a good idea.
Because what it does is it links you to the website. So if you click on it, it'll take you right back to where you were.
Yeah.
It's awesome for just that simple reason.
Well, that's good because my son had posted some shoes online, some Coach sneakers, and when I went to a site, I couldn't find the ones that he had. So he went back and showed me, this is where I found those shoes at, and
Right.
and they were all like different prices, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about, because
Right.
really the only kind of tennis shoes that I walk in are the Coach
Coach
ones.
shoes? Okay.
And so he was pulling up shoes, and then for a person that tells me I can't buy purses, and then he's showing me shoes.
Right.
I said, come on, make up your mind.
Give me something, right?
something. But when he saw the purple ones, he liked those himself. He was like, where'd you get those from? I was like, this lady made them for our group. And he was like, can you wear them? I said, well, I can't wear them, but, if somebody buy them, they can wear them.
Right.
But, I might have you make him some. Now, he's a Scarface fan.
Okay.
And so he's had several pairs of Scarface tennis shoes. He's got the blanket, and, he wants the shirt, the boxers, all that
Right.
kind of stuff. And I think it would be good to have him some custom Scarface ones made.
Okay.
Like his birthday in November, give me time to save up.
There you go. There you go. Makes sense.
Right. Let's start saving now. Tell him you gotta save your money, and she'll make you some Scarface
There
ones.
you go.
Yeah, for your big 30. He wore the one pair on the ship to Alaska, and I was surprised at how many people stopped him. And
Were they were just like
were-
Air Force One tennis shoes?
Yeah, well, they were just like probably more like Converse, but
Okay.
not cloth. Not the canvas. They were
Oh, okay,
leather,
the leather.
but they were below the ankle,
Okay.
and they were yellow.
Okay.
And they had Scarface on them, so people
Oh,
was just
awesome.
stopping them, going, "Wow, where'd you get those shoes?" And
Yeah.
and he come up.
I
and
get that a lot.
Yeah,
I get that a lot.
He's like, people asking me about my shoes, and I was like, "There you go."
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the fun of it when you have unique stuff like that, because I'm like that with my purses.
Right.
Ever since I retired, I haven't put on a pair of dress shoes in 4 years. Where am I?
I'm not doing it.
I'm retired. That's my line. I'm retired. Dress shoes?
I know.
They're in the closet.
I'll wear them somewhere.
I'll get a
with
pair of
'em.
sneakers in a minute, but my purse will be on.
There you go. There you go.
So now, do you think you're going to branch into other things besides shoes, or you
More
think
than
you're gonna
likely. More than likely. Just because I'm a pretty creative girl, and I like to see where I can go with things.
Yeah.
And I just pulled my sewing machine back out. It's going down for
Oh,
some time.
I got mine. Mine stays hooked up. I have, because I'm creative in a sense like that. I
Right.
do a lot of stuff, and I got this big mirror that I covered with buttons, and everybody walk in the door and they like, "Oh, that's cute!" And the buttons off of this friend of mine's clothes. Every time he get clothes, I change all the buttons and all that stuff.
Right.
So one day I had this big jar of buttons, and I bought this big mirror, and I could decide what I wanted to do with the mirror. I didn't want to just spray paint it. I didn't
Right.
want to paint it black, white, gold frame. I saw the buttons. I got the glue gun.
There you go.
Got busy.
There you
It's
go.
it's like a masterpiece, and it's a conversation piece, because as soon as you walk in the door, everybody like, oh, they want to touch it.
Exactly. And you can guarantee that nobody else has it.
Exactly.
That's kind of what the crux is for me, is I can guarantee you that nobody else will have
Yeah.
it. And the reason that I do what I do is because I love the fact that nobody else will have it.
That's what I like
And-
about, you have your own style of creativity.
Yes.
Everybody has their own, but it's not yours.
Exactly. And
Right.
once you start, I guess once you finally realize who you are and what you are, what you like and
Right.
what you really like, and then you have to cease being afraid
That's the
of what
main
you
thing.
are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
being
And who
afraid.
you are. Once you stop worrying about what other people think of you, you allow yourself to be who God intended you to be.
Right,
And
right.
once you make the decision that, hey, I like that person that God made me to be, you don't care at that point. Like, okay, well, if you don't like it, that's fine too. But
Right.
what happens 9 times out of 10, you start a trend. You will start a trend.
That's right.
And I love it. I love the fact that I don't have to be pigeonholed into something. Like, nobody I know has ever really decided that they're just going to sit down and be a shoe designer.
Right.
There's only one person, and I don't really know him personally, but he actually moved to Atlanta. And he designs shoes. He and I are we're kind of polar opposites with the shoe thing, but he does an amazing job with the shoes that he does.
Right.
It's just that, once you realize that I needed something more fun, I'm a quirky, kind of plucky, quirky girl. I needed something different. I didn't want what I saw in church. I didn't want what I saw in videos. I'm a comic book junkie. I'm the most eclectic girl you would ever want to meet, just with the strangest habits, and I'm okay with being weird.
That's
okay with being strange.
I'm really goofy.
Yeah, and it's
because I
me.
like a combination of stuff that, like, bald head. I mean, come on.
And me with the big head.
Sunglasses.
And it's sometimes when you get to that point, you understand yourself. You're just like, okay, well, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I love characters just in general. I love people and characters, and in loving these characters, finding out the backstory. I love the Batgirl because Batgirl has a backstory. Same thing with Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn, all these comic book characters that are on my table. They're not done yet, but they're on my table to be done,
ready to be done.
Exactly. When you get into who people are, which is probably why I decided to even do Boys to Men. To this day, I think they're the only people's faces that I've done outside of comic book characters and customs for people.
Right.
I've only done my boys. It's who they are. And I love my boys. I can't even tell you now.
If you could think of like one person that you would just absolutely love to see a pair of your shoes on their feet, who would it be besides Boys to Men?
Okay. Yeah, because if they could wear my forces on stage when they perform, that'd be awesome. I think, to be honest, I would love to see Lisa Ray in a pair of my shoes.
Of course, they had to be white.
Yes, exactly. And I would love to see Kerry Washington because I so admire her. I love her spirit. She's such a sweetheart. And I love to have her in a pair of my shoes. And to be honest with you, them old, what's that, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
Oh yeah, they wear some wild shoes.
Exactly. They could wear all my shoes if they want to, just for business purposes.
Right, because they walk around in 7-inch heels, spikes, boots. I mean, I look at them and I'm thinking, how do they walk in those shoes? I mean,
it takes some
and
practice.
They wear them like every day. I mean, you see them in sweatpants and
heels.
stilettos.
Yeah, now see, I can't even go that far.
I'm like, what is the purpose? I'm advertising the shoes because butts and shoes. The clothes be so tight. I don't understand. I can't breathe.
Yeah, that's just.
And I'm just like, the girl the other night had on the heels. They had spikes all over them.
Oh yeah, I've got a pair like
that.
that.
The heels were like this high, and she kicked her foot up, and I said, spiked boots, they were gold or whatever. I just be like amazed at how they walk in those shoes.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice. As a matter of fact, I bought my mother a pair of shoes the other day, and she was just, oh, Tonda, these is so high. And my dad had to jump in, and the first thing he said was, you ain't got no leg muscle. That's why. You need to practice. Mama was like, okay, I'm just going to wear them around the house. And I caught her a couple days later in her pajamas and her heels. And it was funny because I do the same thing.
You have to practice.
It's a practice. Yep, it's a practice. If there's a certain pair of heels you want to wear, I would say start practicing about a week before.
I've seen people walk on their tiptoes. Yeah. They be outside. They be tipping. To me, it's like that kills it because we know you can't walk in those shoes when you tipping like that.
Well, see, if you're on some concrete and it's unsteady.
Right, you got to tip.
Be careful.
You step in a hole. I remember back in the days of the platforms that I had some 4-inch ones bad. They had red glittered bottom.
Ooh.
We was, back then the bell bottom pants. We was sharp, went to the club, stepped out, hit a crack. I killed
Yes, you
go
do that.
You go so fast, you can't even catch yourself. You just down.
Exactly.
You just down.
Or do that wave.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm on my way down.
Yeah, that's why girls walk together.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that. I do the same thing with my sister.
Because everybody holding them heels up. And you don't want to fall with
By the time you get indoors, you're fine. Outside though, it's a jungle out there.
Story.
It's a jungle out there for women,
especially
in heels.
when you're talking about uneven surfaces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing though, because no outfit is complete without it. Your shoes just have to be there, whether they be flats, mid heels, high heels. If the shoes pop, the rest of the outfit,
you just gotta be able to walk in them.
Exactly. And my theory is buy your shoes first. Mm-hmm. If you see a pair of shoes you like, it's easier to buy the shoes and then to build the outfit around it. I don't know why that is, but it's easier. Like, some things you can buy that are staples. You can buy a gold pair of glitter heels, and it's not that big of a deal. You can wear that with a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But there are some shoes you just like, oh my God, I have no clue what I'll wear that with. Let me buy them, and I'll buy some clothes later. Let me get them.
Well, that's the way people buy purses, and I buy purses like that. I don't even worry about matching them, because most time I already got something at home that I don't even know I have.
There you go.
I just see the purse, and I'll be like, ooh, that's a pretty purse. And bring it home, be like, and we were up at DSW. That's one of my favorite places to shop. I either hit the one in Brighton or the one in Lansing. And I'm coming home with purses, and my son be like, I told you didn't need a purse. Remember, what you bring in, you got to put 2 out. You buy 2 in, you buy 3.
That's a terrible thing.
I know, that's what I say. I said, I wait till the yard sale when I go through my purses, but every year I go through them, and now I'm down to the point where I'm saying, well, I don't have anything else to put in there. And he's like, well, you can't buy any more purses. I'm like, boy, you wait.
I'm going to have to throw something else out.
I mean, like your stuff.
Something. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
We'll just go in your room and start cleaning out,
I started to work by that theory, though. But then I buy things that are like $1, $2 at the thrift store, and in buying those things, you don't feel so bad about tossing them out later.
Yeah, well, and every year when I go through my closet to do the yard, so like now I've already started cleaning out closets. Other thing, like the other day I posted I was cleaning out closets. I go through there and pull out stuff, and I start trying stuff on. It's like, oh, that don't fit anymore. Well, how long has this been in here? Still got a price tag on it. This is 3 years old, and I still haven't worn. Okay, it's going out.
It's going.
And then at the end of the yard sale, what's left over goes to the consignment shop.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna squeeze every penny out of it. That's possible.
I know that's right.
Yeah, buddy. I just can't wait for the weather to break. I think that's the one big adventure is the yard sale.
Oh, you tell me when your yard sale is, because I'm coming to get some purses.
And maybe some more shoes and stuff. Because, that would have been good, because my neighbor's sister 2 years in a row we did yard sales together, and her sister gave us about 100 pairs of pumps.
Woo!
And they were all different kinds, all different heights and stuff. And if I had known you then, I'd have been like, come on over, you got to get it. We were selling them for $3 a pair.
Wow.
And they were like size 9s, I think.
Okay.
And she always had like a bunch of shoes. We cleaned out her closet, and they brought everything, cleaned out her basement, her bedroom, everything, and brought everything to my house, and we set it out. And I mean, we had like probably 4 tables of just her stuff, and 2 tables was just shoes. And I thought, oh my goodness, look at all them shoes. And I thought I was bad, but I got rid of a lot of mine years ago. I'm just like, I don't even buy shoes like that anymore, because I'm not.
Well, see, I got it honest. I've learned some things lately, especially lately. It makes me laugh, but my dad has just as many pairs of shoes as my mother. So I got it honest. And I think there's like 5 pairs of white tennis shoes down there. They all different.
Yeah, Daddy. Different brands.
Yeah, but Daddy, they different. Oh, okay.
You say so.
And his dress shoes. My parents are my fashion inspiration. I'm a little bit wilder than what they are, but my father can put on a suit, and he is the most handsome man in the world. And the tie is tied perfectly. It complements the suit beautifully. Yep. And he don't wear them white sweat socks with dress shoes. You ever seen a man do that? Yeah. Then why he don't do that? It's so classic.
Well, back in the day when they was wearing the thick and thins,
he still got some of them.
I know some people still wear thick and thins.
Yes, and they look amazing.
Well, now everything is right back where it used to be. Fashion is back, bell bottoms, straight legs, all those back. Yes. Skinny jeans was called something else back then. Bell bottoms, palazzo, all those.
Yes.
From back in the 70s and 80s. And now the kids these days wearing them, they thinking it's the stuff. And I just look at them and be like, I had those.
Right.
Big shoulder, them Joan Crawford shoes. Yes. Big old Sally Jesse glasses. And those glasses are on my last nerve, because everybody got them big ones, and I just be like, see, that's why I don't like looking like everybody else. Because when something comes out, everybody will buy the same thing,
and everybody will look exactly the same.
They put them on pink, green, blue, black, and they all the same glasses.
All look the same.
And I just be like, oh no.
So then I have to go do something different and strange, like the cat eye glasses. Nobody will wear those just yet. So they'll probably next year they'll catch on to it and start wearing it. I have to start wearing something different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to look like everybody else.
Exactly.
And that's why I think this is a good thing for you, because like when you just see how cute they are, and who has Batgirl shoes? I mean,
me. No,
exactly. Nobody else.
Exactly.
Nobody else has Batgirl shoes.
Like my cousin needs a pair of Wonder Woman shoes she wants, and I think it's a statement as well, because of the fact that there are so many women who do so much, and Wonder Woman for
like
them,
a superhero.
So many women are superheroes anyway. That's their superpower, just being mothers and students and doing all of it all at the same time. So they identify with Wonder Woman and Supergirl and Storm. That's the one everybody wants.
I need a Storm shoe.
And she's one of the very few black characters that is in the Marvel universe. So there's Storm. I want Storm. Give me Storm. I'm like,
good as Storm.
Yes, amazing as Storm.
Right,
so there are quite a few characters that my girls identify with, my sugars identify with, and they're just kind of, okay, we want to do this. I want this. There's a Spider-Girl shoe. I didn't even know there was a Spider-Girl.
I didn't know that either. Where'd she come from?
I don't know. I think she's, in the Marvel universe, she's Peter Parker's daughter. The original Peter Parker's daughter.
So he had a baby?
Yes.
But he never had one in the other 3 Spider-Man movies.
No, see, the comic books are about 3 or 4 years, or at least 7 or 8 years ahead of where the movies come out at. So when the movies come out, they're starting at the beginning.
Yeah, because he's a boy. Peter Parker is just a kid.
Yeah, and this was the original Peter Parker, and by that point, he got married. He had a daughter,
and she got bit by a spider.
I think she had spider powers, and she had passed them down. I don't know. I don't remember the entire story, but I know that she had lost her spider power. She had lost all of her power, but she decided she was going to be Spider-Girl anyway. I said, go ahead, girl. All right, let's see how you going to do that. Right. And it was awesome. She was an awesome character. I need to do a little bit more research on her, but she's an awesome character. They're constantly coming out with characters I identify with as far as comic books, but there are a ton of women characters out there that are empowered, and they're still very feminine. And that's what I love about what I do, because you can definitely be empowered and still be very feminine.
Right.
You can still, no matter what you choose to do or what you choose to be, you can still be very classic and feminine. There's a quote by Marilyn Monroe. My clothes are tight enough to show that I'm a woman, but loose enough to show that I'm a lady.
Oh, okay.
I love that. I love that.
That's a good one for her.
Exactly.
How she was, blah.
Yeah, she was. That's my girl.
I know. Now, you know what I think would be cool is when you have the superpower women, if you had a little story book or something to go with the shoe.
To go with them. That would be awesome.
Yeah, just, to tell who she is and what she did. And just like you were just talking about the story of Spider-Girl. I never heard it. So, if you had just a little booklet.
A little tidbit to go with it. I love it. That is completely nerdy, and I love it.
See, I told you I'm goofy.
There you go. I love that.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm very much a pro-nerd person.
There you go.
And they consider comic books very nerdy.
I know.
That's all right.
I used to read them all the time as a kid, too. We had plenty of them. Everything from Charlie Brown, Archie's, all of those.
Right.
So.
See, I didn't get into comic books until a little bit later. Just because I kind of, they weren't as popular during my high school years. But things that I didn't recognize in high school are coming back now. I saw a boy the other day with a high top fade, and it was cut in like a Gumby. I said, he looked like Bobby Brown. I know.
One of our neighbor's son was cut his hair like that.
Yeah, and I looked at him and I said, they really got high top fades like they knew.
Right.
I said,
they saw a
Big Daddy
picture
Kane had that. And I was just like, wow. I said, okay, they're going to put the streak in it in a minute.
Like
the
vanilla
blonde
ice.
streak. Yeah.
Vanilla ice.
Yeah, and there was a rapper, Kwame, with a blonde streak in his head. And I was engaged to be married to a guy who had, when I first met him, he had a it was so tall. It had to be at least 6 or 7 inches off the top of his head. And it was a blonde streak in the front of it. And I was just like, oh.
He saw you coming.
He did. did, and he was like, "Oh!" So we were awesome.
Funny. That's too funny. Well, anyways, I want to thank you for coming in today. We're going to wrap up the show.
Welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm glad that this worked out because we've been planning to get you on here forever.
They had me slaving at the 9 to 5.
I know. So now if you want to give out any like a website or any way people can contact you, it might be a few people listening that might want to order some superpower shoes.
Or at least take a look.
Exactly.
That's all I ask.
Just take a look.
On Facebook, if you go to www.facebook.com and do the / you can find me at Sugarface Shoe Design. It's SU. Wait a minute, girl. Let me go back. It's SHUGAFACEDESIGNS. Sugarface Designs. Or is it Shoe Designs? Girl, I don't know. Wait a minute.
Find you on Facebook.
Yes, if you just type in Sugarface, you can't miss it.
Right.
You can't miss it. Just go to the top in your search bar and just type in SUGAFACE, and I will definitely pop up for you. Or you can add me as a friend on Facebook. You can find me at Jatonda Tickle Pink Thompson.
That middle thing throws a lot of people off. They put your name in, and they be like, I can't find her.
Yeah.
You forget about that little thing in the middle. I won't do it. I want people to find me right away.
You can find it. It's not difficult, especially with the tickle pink in there. You can't miss the tickle pink part.
Well, I wish you well on doing this, and I definitely am going to get me a T-shirt or something made so I can be part of your billboard.
Wonderful.
And I won't get any shoes, but I'll do it.
Can get you some flat shoes.
Oh, in that case.
Oh, yeah, I do all sorts of flat
I may have to
shoes.
bring over some of my Coach and then have you redo them.
Okay.
So they won't be Coach anymore.
Ooh. Okay.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it would
Now,
be.
I had some solid gray ones that people had never seen. I got so many compliments that you couldn't even tell they was Coach. And those would have been great to work on because you just paint over everything.
Right.
But I'm sure I got some in there that fits my little hoofies.
Sounds good.
So anyways, I want everybody to stay tuned. We're going to be doing Flaminpit Show Part 2. I'll be back at 1 o'clock. So in saying that, it's Flaminpit and we signing off.
Bye-bye.